Hi again, me and my friend Arek decided to have another game of War Machine. He is trying out this new version of Absylonia1 list, and I took my Stryker2 because Stryker2 is my man. So scenario is take and hold, it has a kill box, you can dominate your own flag for 1 point and control enemy flag for 1 point and dominate enemy flag for 2 points. So Arek won the die roll and decided to go first. I will go second. I chose the side where my own flag is behind the wood because I thought it would be easier for me to dominate this flag with some loss blocking to Stryker. So we set up a pretty standard. Legion is quite spread out, and my cavalries are on the flanks, jacks and the support are in the middle, and he's putting his advanced deployed hex hunters on the left flank to jam me as fast as possible. So his hex hunters run up, they have pathfinders, so they have no problems going through the wood, and he's spacing them more than 4 inches, so they will not be victims of electroleaps too easy. So he then decides to run up his Black Frost shard on the right flank, also aggressively forward. Then his Spell Martyr runs up to set up later for arcing of spells. He's also using the wood to cover his approach from me, so that loss blocking is working for both sides. So then Nephilim gets Wild Aggression spell from Absylonia, and then Angelius gets Forced Evolution. Then Angelius moves up behind the forest, so I cannot target him anyway. On the right flank, Zurier runs up behind the cover, and Spell Martyr also runs on the right flank. And then the Nephilim runs into the trench, and Angelius runs into the trench in front of him. The Naga also runs up just to be safe from my cavalry, and the rest of the army also runs. So not much to do on part of Arek. He has to just position, so next turn he can start attacking me. And then times goes to me. So I measure my his threat ranges of his chargers. I really cannot do much about his shooting. If I would like to stay out of the shooting threat ranges, I wouldn't move and should lose for scenario. So I just don't want to be charged by him, and I think I can easily withhold his shooting. So I move up my jacks in the middle, and then one cavalry unit on both sides of the jacks. So this is my standard tactic of so-called Fort Stryker, with Arcane Shield and Deceleration up. My cavalry will have armor 22, and jacks will have 20 to 22 armor as well. So the rest of the stuff runs just so to hide behind the front line. And then the junior casts Arcane Shield, and the Fort Stryker is ready, and the time goes to my opponent. So now Arek has a problem how to crack that armor that is just waiting up there for him, and he's starting measuring ranges and just trying to find an idea how to kill or stop the cavalry from coming up. So Arek finds a solution. He moves up his spell martyr and then activates Absylonia, and Absylonia casts Blight Burst on my Ironclad. He rolls a bunch of damage, but unfortunately for him, I have too high armor and he does not manage to damage any of my cavalry or jacks or anyone behind them as well with the blast damage. But the template stays and I cannot spend focus from my jacks under that template. That will be a bit problematic next round. Luckily, all around he doesn't need to spend focus for charging or running, so he will still be able to do so if I need him. So then Naga activates, advances just in the range of one of my cavalry guys, and she uses her Animus to allow her to have a blessed shot to ignore my bonuses from spells, and then she boosts to hit. She hits, but does some little damage to my one of my cavalry models. Then his Angelius activates, and Angelius moves forward to jam my cavalry and both of my jacks. They are both in his straight range, so all Rowley does not get to countercharge this round, unfortunately. And his Hex Hunters activate and they start jamming my cavalry again. With their defense 14, they are quite a good jam unit. And Arek is careful not to give me a too easy time with Electroleaf, so he measures that his spacing is good with no Electroleaf targets. So all the Hex Hunters are moved, and then Black Frost Shard activate, and they advance, run, just to take positions and be outside of threat range of my Firefly. Then Forsaken runs. And then Shepherd runs as well. So his second Angelius moves out of the trench and takes position, and after that Nephilim also moves up, and then this Sorceress moves up and uses Wind Ravager, so I cannot shoot within 8 inches from her. And then Zuriel advances, taking his position, and Arek switches clock over to me. So first I measure Tremor from Ironclad, but then Arek reminds me that Angelius cannot be knocked down. So that plan is not going to work, so I consider how to approach this. I need to kill that Angelius in front and clear the infantry that is blocking me, and hopefully charge the Nephilim and Naga and do as generally as much damage as I can, because I want that turn to be a feed turn, and yeah, that cavalry has to roll over those beasts and kill as many of them as possible. So I have a plan. I want to use my cavalry that is in the back to charge over the cavalry in the front. Thanks to tactician from Stormblade Captain, I can do it. So I put proxy bases to measure up before I start moving. This is a bit, as always, a bit difficult because I have created some jam, because not every model in this list is a Storm Knight model. The jacks are in the way a bit, and also Runewood is blocking my path a bit. So and of course the Stryker has to go first and use positive charge on one of the jacks, so my cavalry has as easy time hitting as possible. So first I have to move out Leathermoor out of the way of Runewood. So she just rides to the side, tries to shoot but misses, and then repositions back. So I get this shooting bonus to some of my Stormlands. Then Runewood moves a bit back and uses his battle plan, so my charging cavalry will have +2 to hit on a charge roll. So not only do we have boosted attack rolls with Mk3 with +2 to hit it with Mk9, and those in positive charge range will have Mk11 boosted attack roll, so they should hit that Angelius and whatever they will charge. So I discussed with Arek in length my traffic jam issue and what's possible, how to move which model out of there. So Stryker activates and casts positive charge on Ironclad and moves to the side and tries to cast positive charge on the Firefly, but we agreed that it's difficult to measure because of the models, not to move all of them, and we decided to remeasure later on, and if it's in, then the spell is cast, and if it's not in, then I will just get back my focus. So my second line of the cavalry starts charging the Angelius and the Hex Hunters. So I move my models up, and then we measured again the positive charge range, and it was out by millimeters, so the Firefly has no positive charge. So with all the cavalry removed, I started rolling my attacks. So first on the right side I removed both Hex Hunters. Then on the left flank I started shooting the Angelius, but I could not hit him, but I hit my own Ironclad, doing some damage to him. Then my charge attacks, I removed the Hex Hunter on the left flank and attacked Angelius for a lot of damage, and with just 2 charge attacks from my lances I managed to kill the Angelius. So after this my Storm Lances reposition. So I put my proxy bases down to measure where I want to charge with my second cavalry unit. I move up my Ironclad so that I get some positive charge bonus on some of my lances, and I charge my or Rowdy into Hex Hunter, boosting attack and killing him. It might be a bit overkill, but what the hell, I didn't have anything to do with Rowdy anyway. Well, the left flank was supposed to be Firefly running up, giving me positive charge bonus and plus damage on the shots, but unfortunately Firefly was not in range, so my cavalry will have to charge without bonuses. We measure who's in range and who's not. My primary target will be Angelius, and one of the cavalry models will charge Nephilim. So the cavalry starts charging. Unfortunately, they cannot shoot because of the spell that this sorceress gave no shooting. So my lances start attacking. First I attack Naga, doing some damage with a shot, then Hex Hunter gets killed, and then my charge attack goes to Naga, damaging it, and then my lances start doing charge attacks on the Angelius, also putting some damage to it, and then some electroleaps damage to this sorceress. And the second lancer damages Angelius. And then there is the last lance hits Nephilim and kills the sorceress with electroleap. So then it's time to reposition and prepare for a feet attacks. So now I need to finish this Angelius and that Naga, so I have to move up my Jack to have positive charge. So I make space for the Jack with my cavalry, and then Jack moves up, so he's in the middle, giving positive charge to maybe four lances, and or Rowdy just goes to the side and kills with the Hex Hunter. Stryker hides behind the cavalry. Yeah, and then I moved my positive charged Jack, and I start attacking the Naga with my attacks, and then Electroleap hits Forsaken, and Naga is down and Angelus is down, so it was a very successful round of attacks. So my opponent is only left with Zuriel and Nephilim, so I feel pretty good about it, because with only 2 heavy hitters you have a difficult time getting to my caster, and generally I'm extremely up on attrition. So Arik activates his Black Frost Shard, and they move up, and they put Kiss of Lilies on my front cavalry with they have Arcane Shield, so this will bring them to armor 18, and he tries some shots, but with not much luck. does some little damage with his magical attack and kills one of my lances with it. And he moves up his spell Martyr in position. So then Absylonia activates and charges one of my lances and kills it without any problems. And she camps the rest of her fury. Then Nephilim activates and charges my Ironclad, and he will try to knock down my Jag and my cavalry with boosted attack rolls, but he does some damage all around, but he just fails to roll any doubles, any critical hits, because he's got this critical knockdown. So a bunch of my cavalry gets damaged, but none of them got knocked down. And Bayal activates and charges my Stormlands. He's got 2 Weapon Master attacks, so with the first charge attack my opponent rolls quite poorly and didn't kill Stormlands, but with the second roll the Stormlands is taken down and he can use his magical ability, and he sprays the lances and he manages to kill the last one. And now it's time for Zuriel and to show what he can do. So Zuriel charges the lances and Stormclad. So the first target for my for Zuriel's attack is my Ironclad, and he hits with the charge attack, does tons of damage, destroying my Cortex and putting Ironclad on fire. But the Ironclad lives, and this is the most important news. He's still standing. So Zuriel does his damage to Ironclad and also manages to kill one of my Stormlances, and then that's it. So the Ironclad lives this turn, and I'm down to just a few lances in front. I still have 2 lances in the back, so total of 5 lances and Leathermaw. Unfortunately, position of All Rowdy is just completely off to side, so I don't think he will take part of any action. Also, my opponent saw that and he just leaves All Rowdy alone. So some last attacks going into my Stormlands, and time goes to me. So the idea now is to kill those 2 war beasts that are left, and I will try to do it with putting Tremor on Nephilim. And before I do that, Stryker has to give positive charge to Ironclad, because he cannot boost, he doesn't have any focus because his Cortex is down. Lucky for me, I still have my Hammer Arm. Junior casts Arcane Shield on Stryker, just in case. So I move my Ironclad to the side, and my chances are, so I hit on anything but double ones, and I hit the Nephilim, doing some damage to him, knocking him down, knocking Zuriel down, and my first Stormlance also. Then Stormblade Captain charges. It's an auto hit, and he's a weapon master on a charge with positive charge, so he just kills Nephilim. Then I activate my Firefly. I want to move up and be within ionization range, so I have plus 2 damage from electricity to Zuriel, and I shoot to Black Frost Shard, boost to attack, and I take down 2 of them with one with their direct hit and one with electro hit. So I start moving my lances. I hope I'll manage to charge Zuriel, and with positive charge Jack nearby to kill him with assault shots, impact damage, and assault and charge attacks. So I start rolling, I do a bunch of damage. Also kill the Spell Martyr. And Zuriel in the end goes down, and I reposition. So then my lonely Stormlance attacks the Forsaken and the Shepherd, and in the end, between the normal attack and mount attack and electric, they both die. So I run on Rowdy back to protect Stryker, and Leathermore also just blocks the charge lane to Stryker. So my last reposition move, and the time goes to my opponent. So to be frank, his situation is not too good. He's got just a couple of models left on the table, and not much of combat capacity. He'll try to do best he can with it. So Absylonia activates, charges my lance, kills it, and clears the flag to score a point. And then she casts Blight Burst. It hits the lying down color model, but doesn't do damage to him, but kills my captain. And the Jakes are safe from the blast. So with the last few models left, Hex Hunter Officer charges my Storm Lances. Unfortunately, due to some bad rolls, he just does some damage to them, but did not manage to kill any of them. The lance on the right is shadow bound. And then the last member of the Black Frost Shard kills my lance. And then Shepherd tries to damage my Stormlance, but did not manage to do it. So my round, now it's time to kill Absylonia. It's either Stryker will do it or the cavalry will do it. So I activate Junior, and Junior aims and boosts, shoots the Bloodfrost shot and manages to kill him. And then Ironclad goes and kills the Shepherd. So this way I have cleared my 2 cavalry models, and then Leathermore charges the Hex Hunter's officer and also kills him. So now it's on the Absylonia left, so my 2 lances charge her, and we boosted attack rolls and boosted damage. She dies from just 2 lances. So Stryker didn't have to even charge Absylonia, but it was still a possibility. So it's a victory for Cygnar this time. So thank you for watching, I hope you liked it. If you would like to see more of the battles, subscribe to our YouTube channel or like me on Facebook. See you soon. So Absylonia activates, charges my lens, kills it, and clears the flag to score a point. And then she casts